Hello there, everybody, and today for Batman the Animated Series, I am reviewing The Cat and the Claw, Part 1 and Part 2. So this is a two-parter episode, and this is technically the first ever episode that was aired on TV of Batman the Animated Series. And I gotta say, this show really does work, even if this show is out of order, but it was nice that we get a Catwoman episode for starters, and it's first time we hear Kevin Conroy's voice as Batman. And there's a lot that goes on in this episode. It's basically the introduction of Catwoman, which she looks awesome in the DCAU. This is like probably a bit after she appeared in Batman Returns, so I think I saw a video that basically said they were trying to cash in on the hype around that movie, so they aired this episode first, which is a little confusing because apparently when this episode came out, apparently they also released In Letters Wing after. Then the part 2 of this episode didn't air a week later, so it's a bit weird that they basically just aired episodes out of order like this, but thank you to the Blu-ray of this show, I was able to watch this show in order and not get confused. I bet kids were probably confused back then. If you were a 90s kid, if you watched this episode when it came out and then you were confused, tell me below. But basically, Catwoman is stealing per usual, and Batman notices, and this is actually the first time they met in the DCAU, and Catwoman's costume. I'll talk a bit about the costume. It actually looks pretty cool. The new Batman Adventures one, that one looks alright, but this one, like, you definitely tell they put in a bit more work into this costume. I kind of wish it was all black, since I feel like that suits Catwoman's style, but for this style of this show, it does work with the gray and the black. But Catwoman uses her cat Isis to steal the up like a jet, I think like a necklace, but Batman does his best to catch her, and it leads to like a goose chase, and Batman's actually impressed by Catwoman, that he actually starts to develop feelings for her, and these feelings are further explored when the two go to a party where apparently stuff are getting auctioned, and Selina's basically willing to buy whatever product they have, because she's also an animal activist who is trying to save animals' lives. But she's able to buy something for like $10,000, which is a lot, until she bumps into Bruce Wayne, and the two meet and greet. And they actually are planning a date, but Catwoman has feelings for Batman, and she doesn't know that Bruce and Batman are the same person, which is ironic. But during all this, Catwoman is also getting spied on by the infamous Red Claw. So, I'll probably get into Red Claw, but Red Claw is apparently one of the obscure Batman villains of this show. Like, she only appeared in a few episodes, this arc, for example, and apparently Batman doesn't even know who she is at first, but he's tracking various goons of hers. But apparently she's trying to steal some chemicals that will cause a virus that will devastate Gotham, and it involves Selina somehow. But apparently Selina's going out on her date with Bruce, and she also has like an assistant. I think her name is Maeve. Yeah, I thought she was very cute when I saw her in the show, when I saw these episodes. But Catwoman goes along with her date, and it goes somewhat okay, but it's all interrupted by the goons who tried to, I think later, try to knock them off the bridge, but Batman's able to knock the goons off the bridge, and they of course survive, but apparently this leads to Catwoman to go on her chase, because apparently they're after her because of the stuff she stole from them, and it leads to Selena becoming a target, and Batman's doing his best to save her from getting out of this situation. But it leads to when Catwoman does get into a goose chase later with Batman again, and the two actually quarrel a bit, and Batman actually almost falls off the building, I'm pretty sure, after when Catwoman actually tried to basically put a stop to them, but she gets shot down by Red Claw, but Batman saves her in the nick of time. It's actually a good sequence, the way he catches her and she even kisses him. But I think it leads to Catwoman coming home after betraying Batman. But she comes home, and it leads to being revealed to be getting spied on by Red Claw's goons, more of them. But the next episode is where Batman tries to track down Red Claw, and he is shocked to learn who she is, and the two get into a brawl on a train, but Batman's knocked off, and it leads to Batman and Catwoman meeting up after, I think, they try to meet up. I think I'm getting a bit confused about which parts happen in this episode. I'm kind of just going over all of it. But when Batman and Bruce and Selena do meet up again, they end up getting captured by Red Claw, and they're tied up, and Red Claw is actually going to use the chemicals on the two. But apparently Batman's able to break free from his ropes, and it leads to a final brawl between Red Claw, Batman, and Catwoman. I think Batman was actually trying to find where Selena could be, but he actually meets up with Maeve, and he tells her to go home and try to stay in hiding because they're also after her. But when Batman and Catwoman do work together to take down Red Claw, it actually goes well. And they also have this tiger that's going to be used against Catwoman, but because the cats are loyal to Catwoman, the tiger ends up attacking Red Claw, which I thought that was ironic. But the chemicals end up blowing up the whole factory that they're in. But Jim Gordon and the cops are able to make it in time to arrest all the goons, and with Batman's help. And it leads to Catwoman escaping. But Batman decided to turn Catwoman in because he didn't want Catwoman to get arrested by like any other criminal. So Batman just confronts her herself at her apartment, and he arrests her. And I think that's the episode. So sorry if I got some things confused about which parts, but I think part 2 is a bit stronger than part 1. Part 1 was just kind of like an introduction to Catwoman, which I didn't think it was bad per se. It was just like it was entertaining to see Batman and Catwoman's dynamic we always are known to see. It wasn't just created for Batman Returns and this show. It's always been a thing with Batman and Catwoman having a on and off again relationship. I even like the scene where Batman saves Isis when he almost gets run over by a truck. But yeah, I think Catwoman would later show up in other episodes, but this is like a good start to it. Red Claw was an alright villain. I wish we could have saw more of her. She's basically probably the most different of the Batman villains than we usually see in this show. But I do like how this whole episode was like a heist for Catwoman. Like then the usual Batman chases the cat, which I thought was ironic for this episode for sure. I don't know what the next episode is. I think it's the Invisible Man episode. So I'll probably give these episodes probably an 8 out of 10. So what do you think of The Cat and the Claw? So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.